Welcome back, everybody. It's time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
And today we're joined by Susie Falk from the Falk Group, plus Jeff Wagner is back with us. Another shooting at Fort Hood. The shooter killed 3 people and injured 16 before turning the gun on himself. Officials are now saying that it was Evan Lopez, who was being treated for depression and anxiety, but also undergoing tests for PTSD. No word yet on what motivated him to kill his fellow soldiers.
You know, we were talking about this off the air as well. One of the things I also hear is that he was apparently taking Ambien, and I don't know if ultimately that's going to come back and be a cause, but I have to tell you, the more I read about this Ambien stuff and the things that people end up doing, how scary this could be. And I'm not saying this is necessarily linked exclusively to that, but you put in Ambien, you put in a lot of these other issues, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's a tragic situation. It's a community of 40,000 military people, and you know what, if you look at a group of 40,000 people, you're going to have a couple loose screws in the group. You know, the guy went ballistic, unfortunately. I think he was undergoing therapy. He probably should have got more intensive therapy. You know, what do you do about a case like that? He looked normal. He had a normal family. Everybody's saying they look to be the happy couple living next door. And then he goes, you know, I hate to use the word postal because that all brings up painful memories, but you know, we just have to be very careful. Mental illness exists.
There's been a lot of discussion the last couple of years as we're getting everybody coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan and this war footing the country's been on for so long. We have a lot of soldiers who've seen a lot of terrible things who need treatment, and there's just not really adequate treatment out there to take care of everybody the right way.
Yeah, now, and I'm not sure, again, I think we have to be careful. I'm not sure that's going to play out to necessarily be the situation in this case, but you're right, and I think that there needs to be a commitment to making sure that the people who've served our country, now that they're coming back, that, you know, we make sure that, you know, they're in the best position possible to move forward. No question about it.
Yeah, he needs intensive care, you know, but if this were the general population and that happened, that person, that civilian also should deserve some intensive care. So unfortunately this happened in this situation, but you know, good luck to the family. It's tragic.
Heartbreaking. Well, coming up next, we are going to reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
Also, Brian Goddard will be back.
Topic of the day.
Again, we are joined by Susie Falk and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. Today's viewers chose this. A Florida family says their 5-year-old daughter was told to stop praying in school. The girl said a cafeteria worker told her to stop praying. The school district says there's no evidence that this incident happened.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Live and let live. This little girl, she wasn't out to evangelize and convert others to her religion. She was saying a quiet prayer. A worker from the cafeteria came over and told her to stop that. And you know, my guess is that, and I don't know too much about this, but the worker probably was a parent volunteer who perhaps thought it was inappropriate for whatever reason and was, you know, trying to get this kid to stop. Didn't want to mix religion and education. And I think the parent, if it was a parent, made a bad decision. Let the little girl pray.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, but there's many times, particularly before I was sitting down to take tests and stuff, you could have probably like heard that small little prayer coming from my lips.
Did it work?
Yeah. Well, here I am, so you can decide whether it worked or
What
not.
did you pray for?
Yeah. Well, I mean, right? Are you going somewhere bad if you say like I prayed to do well on the test or something? Is that bad? Or but I was probably praying to do well on the test, I guess.
All right, let's go to our lightning round.
Before the season starts, I need to be at opening day. I'm sorry. This is what makes our money. This is how we're going to live.
All right, so a New York Mets player is criticized for taking paternity leave. That sports radio host you heard there thinks that it was not a good idea for him to take off during opening day. So the question is, was he out of line?
Okay, well, first of all,
who wants to start on this one?
One of them is Boomer Esiason. He said she should have had a C-section, you know, to avoid the thing. Then the other one said, well, okay, they allow him 3 days, but he should have just taken one day and then gotten his butt back, or words to that effect.
No, we don't know the situation. We don't know the state of the woman and the delivery. Maybe it was a rough delivery. Maybe she was emotionally unsettled. You know what? Good for him for being a dad that steps up to the plate and says, I'm going to be there for my family. So
it was his first child. He wanted to be there for his wife, for his first child. You can't get that moment back. And you know what? Baseball may be there, but your wife and your kids will always be there.
And there are 160 games or something like that.
It seems to be like almost every year during the Super Bowl or some other big playoff situation, there's always a guy on the team who has to fly away at the last minute because he's having a baby. And you know what? Good for them. They take the time out,
Exactly.
even on those important days to
Well,
do
if
it.
anybody ever wondered whether Boomer Esiason is a complete and total idiot, I mean, this provides proof. She should have had a C-section. Yeah, let's have major surgery instead of this. And then the other guys, okay, it's a long season, all right? He wasn't gone for a month. He wasn't gone for 2 months. He was gone for 3 days, which is, by the way, what the agreement allows. So you watch the baby being born, you help mom get home, and then you go back to the team. And after all, it's the New York Mets, for goodness sakes.
Wow.
But he did absolutely the right thing.
Hey, he's a hero, and I'm glad he did it, and I'm glad we're talking about it, and I hope more dads step up to the plate and take paternity leaves.
My question, does the first day really count in baseball with so many games?
It does count, but
Count for what?
1/162nd of the season.
Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, and we said radio hosts. These were sports radio hosts, which is
Okay,
different
yes,
than
let's
the
make
rest
sure
of
we
us
don't
here.
want to get you in that
Got to
group,
put that
right,
in that
Jeff?
category. Do not lump me in with Boomer Esiason and C-sections,
Never.
please.
Never. Can't even imagine.
All right, the What's Hot discussion continues online. Find that page at tmj4.com/hot.
And coming